to another Review Room tutorial. Today we're going to be talking about reports again. Last time we showed you how to create a report, and today we're going to continue the discussion and click on the Download Report button. Now when I click on this, what will happen is you're going to see the report getting generated in the background, and then you can click on this link over here, and that's going to create your report for you. Now if I click on that, essentially you'll see the details of what's in this report. Now if you take a look at this in a bit more detail, you'll see that the first column is the submission name, and all the other columns that were there and we programmed you'll see there as well. You'll also see the answer to question number 7, which was one of the fields that we added ourselves. You can see that this is the only application that has an answer to it. And the other columns, these are the indefinite fields. So these are whether or not each application has completed each of the relevant tasks, right? So it will throw in all of the tasks on the system, and then you'll be able to see whether or not each applicant has completed each one of those different tasks. So that's pretty much it in terms of this particular report. I'm going to exit out and I can show you some more options. I'm going to show you a few more things. Now if I click on edit this report to modify it a bit more, we'll be able to see what other options exist for us to take advantage of. Now task completion was one of them. Now what I'm going to do is also choose form responses, and we'll see what that does. And essentially form responses, this is one that you'll, I would guess, use commonly. And the reason for that is it's going to show you the answers to all the questions on the system in terms of forms, right? So if an applicant filled out 40 forms or however many on the system, their answers to all those forms will be provided in this report. So let's choose that, let's save our changes, and let's try downloading that one more time. And this time around, it's going to do the calculation. It might take a bit longer. Oh, I guess it was quick. Okay, so you click on that, press that report again, and now you get to see a lot more columns, because these are all the answers to all the questions in the forms. If you scroll through, you'll see that a lot of them are blank, and about midway they start to have answers. Now why is that? The reason for that is that all the columns for all the forms are shown on the system. So if you notice in the group section, we have global applicants and local applicants, right? Well, the tasks for global applicants and local applicants are very different. So in other words, obviously, the global applicants will not have answers to questions that were asked from the other group, and vice versa, right? So because this application, in row 2 is a global applicant, and these are all, form questions for local applicants, this person's not going to have answers for those. But as you continue on to the forms that belong to the global applicants, obviously this application will have answers to those. So that's how that's described. So let's close this and go back one more time and talk about the next portion. So if I click on edit again, what you'll see now is, let's experiment with one more thing, which is reviewers assigned. Now I'm not going to actually go through it, but when you click on reviewers assigned, essentially what it's going to show you is all of the reviewers that have been assigned to each one of the applications that are listed there. Okay, so now let's talk about filters for a second. I'm going to, let's leave it as form responses, and let's scroll down and let's show you filters. I mean, we've talked about filters in other sections, but essentially as it goes, when you're adding a filter, leave the first one as is usually, and then click on add, because you usually want to show active submissions and not the archived ones, right? So let's show all of the users that are in the group global applicants, right? So this way we're only going to see those guys. And you can add all sorts of filters where the person answered a particular thing to a particular question. You can do things like that, but let's just leave it at this because that way it'll be easier. I'll press save and then click on download again, and this time we should only see global applicants because that's what our filter set. So it goes through, creates a report. When I click on the button there, it opens up, and as you notice, the only 2 applications that are shown are both in the global applicants category. So our filter did work correctly. So that's pretty much it for part 2 of the reports tutorials in Review Room. There's more to come, so make sure to stay tuned, and we'll talk to you in part 3.